we are heading out for our highway efficiency test. This isn't going to be a full 100 to 0% range test. We're going to be doing probably about 100 miles round trip out and back on Interstate 95 going up into New Hampshire, but it's relatively flat because it does run along the coastline, so pretty flat, no hills or anything that's going to make any weird anomalies in the data. But either way, we're going to go out and get some highway range data. Going to try and stick between 70 and 75 miles per hour so that everything averages out to about that. Usually when I try to hit 75 miles per hour for an extended period of time, it always usually ends up averaging out in the low 70s. But it is a very hot night. It's 8:30 at night right now. Today was one of the most brutally hot days in a very long time. It was like 102 degrees with 70% humidity. It was just absolutely oppressive. So I wanted to wait until the sun went down to do this test. Unfortunately, most of this week is going to be pretty warm or rainy, which is not ideal for range testing. So tire pressures are at 40 PSI. Again, they're pretty warm just because of the ambient temperature. Fun story, I got in an accident with this car earlier this evening, driving down a one-way road, and there was a car illegally parked on the right side in a no park anytime zone. And what did they decide to do at the second I was driving by? Fling the driver door open. It was probably 3 or 4 feet before I was about to hit it that he opened the door. So he was totally at fault, but nonetheless, really didn't feel like dealing with this, especially with a car on loan from Hyundai. But yeah, they might be taking the car back tomorrow, so I wanted to get the efficiency test in while I still can. The car is drivable. None of the safety systems are affected. Basically, it just crushed a big line in the front of the car going straight up and down. So it cracked the LED light bar, it cracked the headlight housing, cracked the lower bumper fascia. So all around, not a very fun afternoon. The person who did open their door was really chill about it. I was expecting them to be pretty mad, but I think they realized they were in the wrong there. But we're getting on the highway here. This is the first time I've taken it out on any real high-speed roads, so we are going to punch it here after these cars drive by and see what this performance version of the Ioniq 9 can do. Oh yeah. Plenty quick. Go back into eco mode and we will set level 1 regen, turn highway drive assist on. We're on US 1 right now, which is a speed limit of 50. So once we get onto 95 where the speed limit goes up, we're gonna take our speed up a little bit more. It is past rush hour, so we shouldn't have any traffic unless there is construction, which there very might well be. But I looked at Google Maps and I didn't see any slowdowns. So unless they're waiting to start much later, I think we should be pretty good to get a pretty good efficiency test here. I guess while I have you guys, I will talk about highway driving dynamics and what I think of the car on higher speed roads. So unlike the car that I took out for my first preliminary drive, this is the upper trim, so it has the active noise cancellation, and I can immediately tell that it is doing something. There's not nearly as much wind noise as there was in that lower spec version that I had that didn't have it. So that is really good to hear. This car is so smooth on the highway. It is really a cruiser, soaks up all the bumps. If you're not a big fan of the Ioniq 5 pre-refresh, so 2021 through 2024, you're probably not going to like this suspension because it is pretty floaty, but it is very comfortable. Some other settings we're going to have the car in for this efficiency test. Auto level 1 for climate control set at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't have the seat ventilation on or anything. The second row is on. I guess we should do that because this is a family car. If you're taking this on a road trip, you're probably not doing it by yourself. So we'll pretend I got a bunch of kids in the back seat. Head-up display in here looks very clear. Looks just as good as in the Ioniq 5. I'll echo something I said in my first impressions video. The headrests in here are like clouds. They are so comfortable. Honestly, I think they might be even a little more comfortable than the Kia EV9s, which I also really liked. Now that I've driven the car for probably 50, 60 miles or so overall between this and the first impressions car, I'm getting used to the larger size. It doesn't feel nearly as big as that first time I got in the car, which I know I mentioned. And I'm actually really starting to kind of like the size of this car. I know it's a big car. I know a lot of people in the comments section say, why would anybody need a car this size? And I mostly understand, but there are people who have big families that need to haul around a lot of people, and they need the space. Really like the electrically adjusted steering wheel. It makes it really easy to adjust on the fly. But we are in eco mode, and we're getting onto I-95 here. We're also going to reset the trip computer once we get up to speed. So we've got it set at 74 miles per hour. We will go ahead and reset after charging and see what our efficiency comes out in a little bit. I'm gonna drive probably 40 or 50 miles north, and then I will touch base with you guys again soon. See you then. All right, folks, we are about halfway through what I want to do tonight. We're about to hit 70 miles in just about an hour or so, but I'm going to turn around because I think if I turn around now, I'll have a good chance of getting back to the charger at just about 10%, and then I can do my charging test. Let me get a photo of this right here at the halfway mark. So we just hit over an hour average speed, just about 71 miles per hour. So I'm gonna try and up my speed a little bit more on this section here while we're in Maine to get that average speed up closer to 75. Right now we're averaging 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which is fairly good. It's worse than I was expecting though. Again, it is fairly warm out, so the car is probably doing some work to keep the battery cooler. It's gonna be about an average of 260 miles or so, which is a little underwhelming considering they advertised this specific version of the Ioniq 9 as I think 305 or 310 miles of range in mixed driving. So this does have the 21-inch wheels. They're just not the top calligraphy design style wheels. So it is more or less worst case scenario with this exact car. So anyway, guys, I will check back in when we get closer to Boston and the Electrify America charging station. See you there. Hey everybody, I am back. We have been driving for just about 2 hours. We're 2 minutes from 2 hours. We've done 138.7 miles, meaning we're gonna average exactly 70 miles per hour over those 2 hours. And what does that yield us in terms of efficiency? 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. So if we do some math, if you figure that the battery capacity is about 107 kilowatt hours, not the advertised 110, because there is that 3 kilowatt hour rough buffer, that's about 260-ish miles at 70 miles per hour. It's fairly good. I was hoping it would be better, but that's just the number that we got. 260 miles, that's basically what I can do in my Ioniq 5. So yeah, 2 hours, 140 miles, exactly 70 miles per hour average. Really pretty cool to get that right on the money. By the way, the cup holders in this car are freaking awesome. They hold your Nalgene bottle, big water bottles, but they also hold smaller bottles really well as well. Really wish these were the cup holders that were available in all of the Hyundai, Kia, Genesis lineup, because these kick ass. So thanks for joining me on this little efficiency test. So what do you guys think of this highway range efficiency test? Are you impressed with that number? Are you disappointed in that number? Let me know down in the comment section. Again, this is the upper trim with bigger wheels, which always corresponds to worse range. When I do get to spend some more time with an Ioniq 9, it might be interesting to run this test at 75 or 80 miles per hour to see just how big the drop off in range can be after 70, because in a lot of parts of this country, you have speed limits that are 75 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour. People are doing 80 to 85 miles per hour on the highway sometimes. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because there's going to be a lot more Ioniq 9 content coming to the channel. If you guys did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in accessories for your Ioniq 9, I've got a bunch of them in my store now at ioniqguy.com. Consider becoming a channel member for as little as 99 cents per month. For $3 per month, you can get early access to all of these videos before everybody else. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.